You mean the show's over at noon?
Yeah.
What kind of place closes at noon?
This place started at 6 a.m. in the morning.
They must be populated with octogenarians.
Yes, there's a lot of us old farts around.
You want me to videotape this while we talk?
I said, Shredder, so aren't you doing a packing of the show video? He's like, I'm food.
What's this in here?
That's a wireless Motorola record player from the 30s.
A wireless Motorola record player from the 30s. So that transmitted to an AM radio?
To your AM radio. And this one's kind of interesting. It's kind of funny looking.
It's like a cake pan.
Like a cake pan. And this cartridge, its tone arm is levered.
Uh-huh.
And some of these are crystal, some of these are actually magnetic. I found that out the hard way. And here is a build-your-own electric phonograph kit.
Really?
This absolutely cracks me up. Build your own record player.
So you built the box and put all that in?
You built the box, and then you built, it was probably an amplifier. There's an amplifier kit, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was too cute to pass up.
Now what's this one here?
A very pretty wireless record changer. Transmits to your local radio. It's got an interesting record changer in it.
What vintage is that?
These are all the 30s and 40s.
No, this is interesting.
Here is a Sears, if I can get it open, portable record player. Very Sears.
So that play what, 78 still?
78s.
Uh-huh.
A really cute Sears portable
Let's take a little closer look at that. That's a metal cabinet.
Metal cabinet, gold and white.
Tube type.
Tube type, post-war, 78.
This one looks nice.
This was made by the J.W. Davis Company in Corinth Street, downtown Dallas, in the 50s. 3-speed tube record player and a beautifully crafted, look at the jointing on this cabinet. Beautifully made cabinet. J.W. Davis was the Watterson Radio Company in the 30s. This was made by the Watterson Radio Company under the J.W. Davis name. I thought that was interesting.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Not the original tone arm, it's been replaced, but that's not uncommon. But what workmanship. Child's record player, 3-speed, Dynavox. They were big on names. 1-tube amplifier, little wooden box, very common. Acoustic phono, electric motor, acoustic tone arm.
So it had no amplifier?
No amplifier, just a children's, those little yellow records kids had, little child's record player.
It was basically a big diaphragm and a needle.
Yeah. Very crude. This one was made for Disney as a Disneyland record player with these beautiful 3D vacuum molded plastic backlit characters. There's one in here that got pushed out of this window. About 1950. It's a single speed 78. The Junior Jukebox made in Mount Vernon, New York for Disney.
Oh, what is this?
A talking Egyptian game.
A talking what?
Egyptian. There's a record you put in here, and as you play the game, you flip this lever, and it gives you a clue. The record's missing, but it was too cute to pass up. And toy record player, Kenner close and play, cruel thing to do to any record. Plays 45s acoustically. Really, really bad on record.
So that was a non-amplifier version too.
Right. This is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. Still in the box, the zany hand-wind phonograph. You have to put it together. Let's see if I can get it all correct. And we need one of those little children. Do you have a 78 on you, Richard? A record?
I took them out of the car.
Nothing down there? Those little yellow ones? Yeah. And there's a little crank. There you go. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. For those who tolerate wow.
What do kids know? Still in the box.
Now what's this one here?
One thing at a time.
Well, it looks like Schrader's going to run off with the things.
Could be. Let's see. How to get this to pack. Back in the box. Come on.
Oh, were you going to ask your mother if we could have the leftover donuts?
Oh, by all means.
I see them up there. Oh, here she looks like she's coming this way.
Yeah. I told her, I said, oh good, leftover donuts. Yeah.
What's that?
This is another little wind-up acoustic phonograph made by the Lionel Company. And of course the telephone. Have you tried that?
Hello, hello.
Is it talking?
No.
He took the.
Oh, it had
record
a
out of
disc in it. I see.
Disc. Yeah, they're funny.
Now what's this?
This is the Mickey Mouse television record player. Acoustic phonograph. And you put a roll of paper with cartoons on it, and it pulls them past this Christmas light.
Oh, so that's what.
So it's a moving image.
Oh, I
as you
didn't
listen
realize
to your favorite
that.
Disney record. Mark wants to know if there's any donuts. Mark wants to know if there's any donuts left.
Well, I'll tell him I'll trade him 2.5 dozen donuts. He can cook my stuff back out of the van.
Well, I'll be glad to truck your stuff out to the van, but I don't need 2.5 donuts.
Well, I'll take
Yes.
some.
Well, you
Just
know what you told me you could freeze them.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I didn't mean to hog them all.
All right.
Just wanted
Now
to
what's
feel-
this one
Well,
here?
Yeah, show me
That's
what's the move.
another little
I'll be right
children's
out.
acoustic phonograph.
Made by Decca?
Well, made for Decca. I don't know who made it. Those are very common kids' phonographs in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
And what's this?
This is the cutest thing. This is the merry-go sound child's phonograph. The turntable turns and the merry-go-round characters go around. You have an electric tone arm. There's an amplifier under here, and there's a speaker behind the calliope pipes. So this was a very stylized children's phonograph from the 40s.
And what's under here? Anything interesting?
Yeah. This is the Serenade Talking Doll from 1962 in the original box. There's a child's phonograph with a 1-tube amplifier transmitter in it that transmits to a receiver in the doll's tummy that runs on a 9-volt battery, which keeps falling out. So you can put this about 2 feet from the phonograph, and the music comes out of the doll's stomach. So the doll
Wow.
is singing.
Wow.
They were terrible, but they looked like the greatest toy ever.
Now this looks really interesting.
Close that back up. Put the cover back on the bird cage. Yeah. Huh? You want a cake? Yeah. All right. I thought this was neat. That's a very mid-century modern looking add-on 78 turntable sold by Airline in Montgomery Ward. And it's just an idler drive turntable with a tone arm, but the style, the look. I don't know what they were thinking, but it's a very interesting look.
Okay.
Yeah. These two are wind-up electric record players. This is sold by Sears, and it is a battery-powered tube amplifier electric record player with a speaker with a wind-up turntable. So you could not use the batteries to run the turntable, you used your hand. So you wind it up, turn it on, you can play your records on a picnic, on a trip where there was no electricity, but it runs on big B batteries, just like a tube radio would have. But you have to wind the turntable up to make it play. And it only plays 78s.
Now here's another interesting one here.
That's another variation. This is one you would add on to your existing home radio to play records through your radio electrically. It's an electric tone arm, but the turntable is run by a spring.
A spring?
It's a wind-up turntable like this. It'll have the crank. So you could run this if you didn't have house current, or you had a battery-powered radio like on a farm. So, or it may have just been cheaper to manufacture. But you wind it up to play your 78s and you play them through your radio.
And what's this one?
Call the Wild. Back and forth CDs.
It's heavy.
Cassettes. This is a battery-powered record player. And the fun part about this is it comes with a set of records which contain wild animal sounds. And you take this out in the woods and set it up and hook up a horn speaker to it, which we don't have, and it reproduces the sounds of wild animals in distress, animals in heat, mating calls, I don't know what, to attract things for you to shoot. Now we just take a CD player or a cassette deck out in the woods. Back in the day, you took a record player to play wild animal sounds. This actually has the records with the wild animal sounds. Or you could play dance music if you wanted. It's just a simple battery-powered record player, 4-speed by the way. Steel case so that the elephants won't.
Now what's this one here?
That one is a beautifully crafted wooden box that somebody built in the 30s and mounted a gear drive 2-speed turntable with an electric tone arm made by a static to play records probably at a school or a church. And look at the craftsmanship on this. Somebody spent some time making this cabinet.
That almost looks like a Gray arm.
It's an a static.
Oh, Gray made some straight ones like that.
Yeah, well, a static did too.
Yeah.
What's this one here?
Oh, that's the portable radio. You've seen it.
We've seen that.
We've seen
Yeah, that's
that.
where you did your video. I saw that.
Oh, cool.
Enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
And this one I
We
got.
did it.
This one I got because nobody wanted to pay the shipping.
Oh my God, look at that.
Oh my God is right. 1933-34 portable sound system. You could have been your own boss with this. Turntable, tube amplifier, and on the side there are sockets for field coil speakers or trumpet, horn speakers. Plug in a micro, there's mic jacks on the side, the record player. Thing weighs a ton. But you had this and a couple of speakers and a microphone. You had a sound company for a picnic, a convention, a church, anything.
Public events of any kind.
Public events of any kind. This was huge.
What I think is interesting about this is,
Made by the Turner Company in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
is that the same where
Turner
my...
microphones.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Same
but
company.
It's the same company that I work for at Rockwell Collins. Is based out of Cedar Rapids.
Well, I worked for
That
Rockwell
was the
Collins for a
Turner-
while.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would have been huge in its day. That was quite
That's
fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is another big portable turntable.
Wow. Look at that thing.
This is a 2-speed gear drive turntable. Plays up to 16-inch records at 78 or 33 1/3 in the 30s. And it's got the long crystal tone arm on it. So you take this and plug it into an amplifier and you could play records at a pep rally or a parade or who knows what. And a 16-inch record will play for 20 minutes. If you had a speech or something to publicize.
Well, we've already talked about this one, I think.
We've done the record in slot the other day. There it is in its case. But you just open it, put a record in, and shut the door, and it makes music. It's amazing. The record needs to come out. It says it right on the lid. Remove record before carrying. This was Columbia's answer to the LP introduction. There's a record laying here for this. Where is it? Let me grab it. When Columbia introduced the LP record, they had to have something to play the record on. Well, this was a dedicated 33 1/3 RPM turntable, only plays 1 speed, and it hooked up to the phono jack on your existing radio record player to play the new LP. RCA did the same thing with the 45 record changer to play the 45 on your existing 78 record player. These were made out of bakelite. They're made using the same mechanism as that Philco right there. It's got the same mercury switch trip mechanism to stop the motor at the end of the record.
What's this right here?
Very, very stylish.
Yeah.
This is an old piece of military gear or something?
That is a World War II top secret bomber wing television camera
Really?
that was developed during World War II. They used them on reconnaissance planes. It's an it's an iconoscope TV camera, mostly octal-based tubes. This was put in an airplane, usually a drone. And there was a transmitter that went with this to transmit it to another airplane a safe distance away. And they had a receiver and a monitor and all kinds of other stuff with it. It's like a 5-piece system. That's got an iconoscope in it. And if you can see into it, it's got cobwebs. I don't know if you can see into it or not, but there's an iconoscope in there. And that was the camera. These are fairly common. The whole system's a little harder to find. The miniature tubes we take for granted. They made a radio in '39. RCA did a little portable radio in 1939 with little 7-pin miniature tubes. First place they were used. They used a ton of them in the receiver for this camera during the war. And all the tubes we built TV sets with after the war came from that development.
Now, what's the scan rate on this camera?
It's a 525 line system.
So it's basically NTSC.
It's NTSC, black and white. As far as I know, it's not some weird scan rate.
And they just transmitted it on
A short distance to another airplane.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So that's the genesis of our television system.
This was the first place RCA tested
What's behind that little door?
access to one of the tubes. Or to the adjustment. There's the iconoscope.
There's
right
the
there.
iconoscope right there.
Yeah. If we had more time, we'd take the cover off, but we're kind of pinched for time.
Well, that's exciting.
But this is something you don't see every day.
Now, what's this?
It's an RCA 45. These are very, very common. If you were a rich teenager, you had one of those. And there's the same thing in a wooden case with a push-pull amplifier and a tweeter. Ooh, high fidelity. That would work beautifully. There's a Bakelite Admiral with a strange record changer. It also works. And you missed the Zenith 45 adapter. I just put it away and I'm not unpacking it. Should have got here 20 minutes early.
What's this here?
A voice and music record changer made for Westinghouse using GE's first magnetic cartridge. So it combines a lot of things. And we use it to demonstrate the Zenith 45 adapter, which sits on here and plays a 45 using a little short tone arm. We'll do a video on that someday.
And this was used in World War, this was used in a movie.
This is a 2-tone arm Zenith. When it came out with the LP, it caught everybody off guard. So all the manufacturers took their existing 78 record changers and stuck a second tone arm on it with an LP needle and a lighter weight to play the new LP. This has a 2-speed motor, plays the LPs manually, because at that time LPs were 7, 10, and 12 inch. There were 7-inch LPs in 1950.
You know what, that was used in a movie, the 1956 War of the Worlds? There was a scene where this was in.
Yeah, it's made up of the 2-tone arm model, but
well, they actually just showed the face of it.
Yeah, well, they built this model for about 4 years, and there's a Zenith Cobra demonstrator built to demonstrate the new lightweight Cobra tone arm to the public. Quite elaborate.